Hello, my name is Dr. Bill Drake, and I am with Scientific Software Solutions. We are a company based in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we specialize in software which facilitates pediatric cardiologists and adult cardiologists generating cardiac catheterization reports. We also collect the data into a database so that it can be stored and retrieved for research and other projects at a later time. We also have other software, such as our Resource Web, which is an internet-based resource for medical practitioners who are interested in learning more about pediatric cardiology and heart defects. And lastly, we have another internet-based resource called Community Web, which is a site that is designed for practitioners to use to help educate families about heart defects and the outcomes and exactly what's going to happen down the road. We're very happy to be able to work with folks in Japan, and it's been an honor to work with Takeuchi-san, who should be able to answer all of your questions. Thank you. Huh? Is that, you need more? Product. Okay. Well, let's do product then. Do you need somebody doing the Pedcath product? Do you have video of Jack doing the Pedcath? Do you need a video of Pedcath? Yes. Okay. Jack would be the best one to do that. But I can do the Pedheart resource, and if you want to show this as I do it, that would probably be a good way to do it. Tell me when to go. That Pedheart resource is our first internet resource. This one is designed for medical professionals. We allow people to go through various heart defects, and for instance we can go down to transposition of the great arteries, and when you click on transposition of the great arteries you will get a flash animation of the defect when explaining exactly what it is. As you go through the discussion, you will see a description of the physiology and the effects. The third slide goes through some of the treatments, such as a balloon atrial septostomy. When we go to the next slide, we'll see a discussion of an arterial switch. So it again graphically demonstrates exactly how this works for families and for residents. We discuss the importance of the coronary artery anatomy, and note that these come off of an anterior aorta. We talk about the effects in the adult patient with regards to long-term, particularly with the atrial switch and the mustard procedures. We also look at the effects on pregnancy and arrhythmias, long-term, again, with the mustard, and effects on exercise, as well as we mentioned earlier, pregnancy. This slide also specifically covers treatments, such as interventions with catheters, surgeries, and we can also show you all the different slides, again, reorganized by defect. So when we look at it that way, for instance, if we want to look at aortic stenosis, we will see that we have a discussion of a balloon valvuloplasty with animations that show exactly how that works. We also have discussions of other procedures, including a Kono procedure, where you have a resection of the muscle below and placement of a homograft. And lastly, we will show the Ross procedure, where we take the pulmonary valve and translocate it over to the aortic valve. We also have an animation of that video that plays on the left-hand side, as well as the both explanations, which can really simplify these somewhat complex surgeries for their families. The resource web also comes with some tutorials and some libraries. There's over 1,000 different angiograms and chest x-rays here, and we can show, for instance, an angiogram of someone with Marfan syndrome, and we can play this loop, and you can see this is a very dilated aneurysmal aortic root. We have handouts for all different types of congenital heart disease. These are available in different languages. We also talk about, again, treatments with the handouts. The handouts can be organized by defect, and the library is quite extensive. We also have some PowerPoint slides which can be downloaded. Surgical procedures, for instance, or a discussion of cyanotic heart disease. And these slides, likewise, are fairly extensive. And when we look at the slides on cyanotic congenital heart disease, you can see that they're easy to use. If people want to be able to use these slides in their own presentations, they can create a new PowerPoint, and they're more than able to move these slides around and use the images on a different PowerPoint.
Hello, Doctor. I would like to buy some of your fine software.
What kind of questions can I help you with?
I treat children with congenital heart disease, and I'm looking for patient education materials.
Patient education materials. We do happen to have some patient education materials. One of the places that you can get patient education materials is at congenital.org. And if you're a hospital, you can sign up and get information, have this information with your hospital's logo.
What if I'm from Australia?
If you're from Australia, for instance, we can look at the Heart Kids Australia website.
This is excellent software.
And when you do that, you'll see that the software has on the top the Heart Kids Australia logo, and it has information for families to be able to access, including family-oriented types of information on all these different anomalies. So we were looking at transposition of the great artery, but we can also look at something like tetralogy of Fallot. And it tells
beautiful diagrams.
It tells a little bit about what they are. What are the effects? What is the physiology? I really like this one because it shows why kids with tetralogy of Fallot are cyanotic, why they're blue. We also can show how it's treated. On the left-hand side, you can see that you can either use a left-modified Blalock calcic shunt or a central shunt. And on the right side, we see an animation of the surgery, how you do a transannular patch, and then you do an infundibular muscle resection, and lastly, you close the ventricular septal defect.
Great. How can I get this from my hospital?
The best way to get this from the hospital is to have a physician or someone who's interested contact Scientific Software Solutions, and you can get the Scientific Software Solutions through our web address, which is pedcath8.org, and inquire and find out more about it. It's a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much.